Greetings, dear colleagues. My name is Ascent from Do My Assignment Zambia, and today we have another topic of discussion. One of our clients asked us to do a presentation on the physiology of balancing. So, if you heard the word balancing, of course, the opposite you think of is somebody falling down. Okay, and so in the football world, of course, people are familiar with this guy. This guy has extraordinary skills in balancing, and some people would say no, because he has a greater, short center of gravity and is short. But anyway, today we are not discussing football. We are discussing the physiology. We want to understand the science behind balancing. So, without wasting much of your time, let's get into it. So, balance, basically, the definition is ability to maintain the center of gravity of a body over its base of support. Now, this balancing is mainly achieved by three most important things. The first one is called the input system. So the input is my eyes, the way I'm seeing right now, my ears in a system that is called the vestibular system, which we are going to discuss, and then proprioception, which is also known as the sixth sense, which is basically helping you to understand your position, where you are, and the objects that are surrounding you. Then number two, and most important, is the cerebellum, or the central nervous system. So it integrates the input from what is coming, and then it coordinates the muscles to help you balance when you're walking so that you don't fall. So the cerebellum in the central nervous system basically helps to integrate the input and the output system, which are basically the muscles and the joints helping you to move without falling. Okay, so the components, as I mentioned earlier on, there are basically three. You have the eyes, the visual input, the ears, the muscles and the joints, which is the proprioceptive input, and then the brain, which we talked that the cerebellum plays an important role in that. So the picture that will help us to understand more is this one, where we are saying humans use three systems: the input comprising of the visual, the vestibular system. So the visual, we are simply saying the eyes, okay? The vestibular system, which is the ears, in what is known as the semicircular canals. So these semicircular canals, they have fluids which move. If I'm rotating my head like this, or I'm moving in this position, there is fluid that is moving in the semicircular canals that is helping me to balance. And then the last part is the proprioception. We'll look at that one later. And then the integration, I've already mentioned that the central nervous system has the cerebral cortex, the brainstem, and the cerebellum, which is helping the integration of the input and the output. Okay, so this is the input from the eyes. You have the anatomy of the eyes there. So I'm saying when light strikes the rods and the cones, they send impulses to the brain that will give you a clue of the objects that are surrounding you. Like I'm able to see this machine in front of me, the chairs and everything that is around me, so that I don't bump into them. Yes, so the input from the vestibular system, this is part of the ear, and the vestibular system comprises of the three semicircular canals. Okay, we'll look at what they do. So inside, if you view the inside, you're going to find that there are fluids in here. So these are filled with fluids, as I said earlier on, that when I move my head, when I rotate, any kind of movement, acceleration, these are able to sense through what is known as the utricle and the circle. So the vestibular apparatus consists of the utricle, the circle, and the three semicircular canals. So the utricle and the circle, they detect gravity, in short, information of vertical orientation and linear movement. Now, the semicircular canals, as I mentioned earlier, because this is the meat of our discussion. So when the head rotates in the direction sensed by a particular canal, the endolymphatic fluid within it lags behind because of inertia. So look at this picture. When I tilt my head like this, the fluid here is also moving in that direction, similar with moving forward deceleration or even forward acceleration. So proprioception, the sixth sense, it helps, it's just defined as the conscious or unconscious awareness of your position. Sometimes you know that you're standing on grass, you're standing on rocks, you're sleeping. So the proprioception consists of the brain which receives and interprets the information you receive. The vestibular organs, these are the ears that we talked about, the eyes and the stretch receptors in the skin. Okay, so the central nervous system, cranial nerve number 8, is the nerve which links the vestibular system to the brain to interpret the information that is there. So it's called the vestibulocochlear nerve. So it gets information from the vestibular system and transfers it to the cerebellum and the whole lot of the cerebral cortex, so which also causes the somatic motor neurons concerned with the eye movement. So the parts of the brain, as I said, this part, the cerebellum, plays a key role in balancing. Also the cerebellum helps us in motor learning, things such as clothing, learning a new skill, playing soccer. Those are done by the cerebellum. Sense of body position, balancing and equilibrium, very important. Fine movement coordination, very important. Those of you that are soccer lovers, sorry, forgive me, I'm a soccer person. So you remember this guy, this is Robin Van Persie. So from the effectors, when the information comes into the brain specifically through the cerebellum, it helps to coordinate how you are moving the muscles and the joints in doing certain actions or controlling your posture. So thank you so much. This was our shortest presentation. This has been Do My Assignment Zambia. And if you have any assignment, if you have any questions, study skills, anything that you'd like to learn or ask, feel free to reach us on these numbers. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.